Coming to you all the way from Norfolk, Virginia, Go On Podcast presents How Embarrassing with Molly and Jeff.
How embarrassing! How embarrassing! How embarrassing!
God, it's really crazy.
Hey, everybody.
Acapella style.
Welcome to How Embarrassing. It's the podcast about all of our embarrassing lives. My name's Molly.
And I'm Jeff.
Woohoo!
Hello.
Here we are, another lap around the sun.
We did it again.
Is that what happens in a day? A lap around the sun?
Yeah, Molly. Let's say it does. Every day we do a huge lap around the sun.
Yeah, we are wheeling and dealing, baby.
We are fucking flying around so fast.
Do you have anything you would like to share with the class?
Yeah, having a little embarrassing story that happened 5 minutes ago.
I love that.
Yes, I'm glad this is happening.
So I went to get onto the little Zoom chat room,
Yeah.
expecting no one to be in there because I was 3 minutes early. So who else would be in there?
Yeah,
Mhm.
no one.
Mm-mm.
And then I join in, and all of a sudden I see I could only see two people's faces right away, but it was Matt Cole and Brian Garraty there. I just heard them start laughing, and I realized I was also picking my nose at the time. I wasn't expecting it, so I just hit cancel and ran away.
For context, Brian and I were recording the Sexperts podcast. Check that out with special guest dead friends. They're like heavy metal rock stars. And Jeff apparently just had his video on, just digging in there. Like, I imagine what Jeff was doing to his nose is what Molly did to her ears.
He had a bobby pin up there?
No, I didn't bobby pin my nose. It was with the thumb, so it was more of an outer rim cleaning than
You were thumbing your
digging.
nose in front of Brian and Matt's guest?
Yeah, I panicked and canceled and ran away.
Oh my gosh, you're ridiculous.
What about you, Molly? Anything horrible this week?
Nothing too horrible. I today went to the beach, and I have a lawn goose. It's a decorative goose for my lawn. His name is Goose Willis, and I have to weigh him down. So I was like, oh, I'll just put sand in the goose. So I brought Goose Willis to the beach today. And, walking, you have to cross the highway, not the highway, that busy road and stuff. And I'm sitting there filling up my goose with sand. And then...
You have to fill it with sand so it doesn't blow away?
Yeah, so
like
he
a little hole
doesn't
in
tip over. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So I'm filling him with sand finally so I can put him in my yard. And our buddy, John Reagan Wharton, friend of the pod, shows up at the beach. And he said, Molly, couldn't you have just taken some sand and brought some sand to the goose? You didn't have to bring the whole goose to the beach. And I felt real dumb.
I mean, at least if you bring the goose to the beach, you know exactly how much sand you need to put in the goose.
Yeah.
Exactly, because
Otherwise, you're
right
either
there.
gonna have too much or not enough. A whole Goldilocks situation would happen. And
Yeah.
And I
made sure it was
apologize
just-
to back up a little bit. Did you say that this was just a plastic goose? This is not a real goose? Did you say that?
Oh, it's a plastic goose.
Because even I was a little confused in the beginning. I thought you were pouring sand into a goose. I'm like, poor goose.
Yeah, first I brought this goose to a beach.
I was wondering why you brought it to the beach for a second when I saw you post a picture today about the goose, and then I was like, that seems like a Molly thing to do. On the way out her door, she's like, I'm gonna bring this goose with me. Just chill on the beach with the goose. I was just like,
It was kind of nice because I was by myself for a while, so it was cool
You had
to
a
have
friend.
company there.
yeah.
Everyone else was walking their dogs, and I'm sitting next to a plastic goose staring out at the water.
Speaking of staring out at the water, let's listen out to the sounds of an ad.
Are you lost?
Feed me sand. Quack.
Oh, God. Not the beach goose again. Okay, here's some sand.
Oh.
God, you always do this. You show beach goose, you always show up and you make things weird. You ask for sand to eat, and then you eat it in such a weird, loud way that everyone at the beach stares at us.
Oh, Spock. I just want to be loved.
Beach goose, will you do me a favor?
Cock.
Come over here.
Aww.
Stick your beak in here.
Oh.
Clamp. Is there a beach goose bothering you? Well, I am so excited for our sponsor this week, you guys.
Your
Goose
vagina? Oh. I thought...
No, goose clamp.
I thought you stuck my head up your vagina.
Why would you think that?
I don't know.
Goose Clamp is a proud sponsor of the How Embarrassing podcast. If you've got an annoying goose in your life, buy this clamp. Go to gooseclamp.com.
I'm sorry. That one was that was my fault. I confused the two ads. I switched up the two ones. I thought this one was for your vagina and the next one was for the goose clamp.
Yeah.
So
we had them backwards.
Sorry, I forgot that they were changed. So the next ad's for your vagina.
Oh my god!
I thought the same thing. Jeff. Yeah.
Okay, I think she fucked up because I'm looking at our schedule right now.
Yeah, the notes
and it clearly says Molly's vagina,
episode.
and then after that it says
maybe Molly calls her vagina the old goose clamp.
Oh. And she calls the goose clamp. So then she was like, "Well, now I'm going to be confused, so I'm going to call." The goose
we're actually doing two. We're doing two ads, both for the goose clamp. But the problem is that I also call my vagina a goose clamp.
Wow,
this is very confusing. That was what happened. Cleared that.
Both have beaks. Both like to eat sand.
Oh,
it's the whole thing. Anyway, our guest.
Let's get to our guest.
That was weird.
I don't know. I don't like it. Today, should we start the episode over?
Yeah, but start with Rob.
It's been great.
Okay,
You're just sober.
Yeah, you guys, getting sober is really hard. I've been clean now for almost 24 hours.
That is not true. We were up till like 2 a.m. last night.
Okay, you're right. My math is bad. Anyway, our guest today, and Little Worms, don't get it twisted. Me and Jeff are not hooking up. Don't get it.
Nobody was thinking that.
It's a play on the last episode.
Oh,
it's called a callback.
Callback from last episode, Matt. Catch up, bro.
I think you lost the audience last episode.
What?
Anyway, we have a guest.
You may know him from having 3 different passports.
You may know him because he also has 3 different kidneys.
He also knitted a sweater that he wears on his head.
Everybody, your dad and mine, Rob Holmes.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on, and such a lovely introduction. All of that is true.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's why we
know you better than you know yourself, honey.
Apparently.
Oh, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is great.
Are you embarrassed to be here today?
No, actually, not at all. Not at all.
That's good. We'll change it.
We'll fix that.
I gotta say, I did feel that the podcast started out pretty strong, and then once we got to the ad, it fell apart.
No,
you didn't like the goose stand.
I don't know. I think that was a pretty strong ad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think maybe sometimes I get in my head a little bit.
Don't
and
do
I think
that.
I think that
you get in your head like that goose beak got in your vagina.
And all you have to do is clamp that down and push through, and you'll be all right.
Thank you, Rob. Clamp it down,
Thanks,
Molly.
Rob. I'll just
clamp it down. Persevere.
I mean,
okay.
Was I the only one who thought that? I mean, when she said,
No.
"Now put your beak in this,"
Yeah,
I was like, okay, how many things can I put my beak in?
I thought she like put a muzzle on you and then just captured you and then you were done.
Yeah.
Well, that's apparently what she was
Sensual
doing.
love.
That's what I was going for.
But knowing Molly, I was expecting her vagina to pop up.
So
Anyway.
Sensual love.
Anyway, I'm glad that we cleared this up and we talked it out. Rob, are you someone who gets embarrassed easily?
You know, I used to. But there's a certain point where you're like, oh, this has happened multiple times now. I'm not embarrassed anymore. I'm just going to own it and just be like, that's cool.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess I haven't gotten to that point yet.
I'm in my late 30s. So, like, once you get to that point, a lot can happen between now and then, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad that you feel safe to tell us that you are in your late 30s.
Yeah, totally.
I'm glad we've created this like welcoming zone for you as a senior citizen.
I am. I can get Medicare soon or Medicaid, right? Like I'm like close to that. Matt, you work in the industry. I'm like right on the cusp.
There. Yeah,
okay,
pretty
good.
darn close.
What are they gave you like 6 vaccines already or what?
Well, they keep trying to, and they do. Yeah, they've given to me everywhere. But then my veins are also weak too, so it's like they have a tough time like finding the veins. So like they've poked me 20 sometimes, but probably hit maybe like 4 or 5. So I got to get that 6th one though.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I want one of them. If you
okay. Well,
I could just go for one.
Me and Jeff are literally desperate for the vaccine.
We've been begging on the streets.
Anyone, if you're out there, come get us.
No, this is going to be in like 2 weeks from now. I don't want to wait that long.
Yeah, you're right. If you have a time machine, come to the past.
Hey, FBI, if you're bugging my house, can you get me a little vaccine?
Yeah, just really quick.
Just 1 or 2 vaccines.
Anywho, Rob, do you have any stories to tell?
I mean, yeah, I do. A lot of them, for some reason, involve Chicago. When I moved out there, on a whim, not really thinking anything through.
Where are you from originally?
I'm from Virginia Beach.
Okay, cool. So this was a trek up north.
Yeah.
The apple.
Yeah, to the windy. It's something like that. The windy city. I moved out there without a plan or anything, and I had met some people online. It was one of those. Okay, I see that look that you're giving me. So
met some people online.
Well, in order to search for an apartment, there was one of these. So let me preface by saying the year is 2007.
You have a great announcer's voice. I thought like a whole movie was about this.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm back there now.
It might be there. So I was looking for a place to live. I had gone out to visit Chicago to visit one of my friends and liked the city a lot. And then within a month was like, hey, I'm moving out there. I don't have a plan, once I'm out there, whatever.
Yeah.
So I went online. They had one of these like roommate finder sites, and
hot.
Yeah, I know, right? And it seemed like, well, this seems easy enough.
Yeah.
And found some people, and I'm like, okay, I don't really know what part of the city that's in, but whatever. And everything seemed okay. And they're like, we just need you to send the information to the landlord, and it should be fine. Great. I pack up my car with all as much stuff as I had, and this includes a giant like old school CRT TV that's like a 27-inch television that I'm like, well, it's going with me. So obviously that rode shotgun the entire time. And everything else was in my car, which was like, I don't know what it was at the time. It was like a 95 Oldsmobile or something. Not the biggest car in the world, right? Mm-hmm. So I have as much as I can put in that. And I drive 800 and some odd miles. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to push through. I'm going to go the entire time.
Jesus.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I decide that I get there and I end up getting over to, this is like Irving Park, old Irving Park. And when I get there, this is actually, I was on the bridge before I even got to Old Irving Park, and I get a call from one of the people who lives at the apartment. They're like, oh, hey, our landlord was thinking about it. And they're just like, they don't think it's really going to work because you're coming out here like without a job. So you got to like meet with him today. I'm like, I just drove 14 hours or 16 hours.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, fine. So I go over to this guy's business. I meet him over because he's got like this little like real estate business, whatever. And he's like, so what are you going to do when you're out here? I'm like, well, I can, I have some side work that I was doing at the time, but it wasn't full-time work. And I was looking for a job. And he's like, all right, well, I don't know if this is really going to work. So I'm like, wait, I don't have a place to live. I'm supposed to move in right away. Luckily, the guy who I went to visit lived in a studio apartment, not a one bedroom, but a studio, and was like, hey, man, you can crash at my place until you find another apartment.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
So wait, so that I feel like landlord is bad.
Yeah, the landlord, he was shitty. He was shitty.
Usually the landlord is bad. There's not many,
landlord is bad.
scenarios where it's like the landlord is good.
Yeah, this I've had some good landlords, but this was one where it was a situation where I'm like, even if he were to say, yeah, the fact that I'm jumping through hoops anyway, and there's way more to it, but it's a lot to go into. I was just like, this sucks. So I have this car full of stuff. Can't bring it into my buddy's place because it's too small. So I go into one of those garages that charges like $35 a day. And I have my car in there for like 3 days.
Oh my God.
Sitting there waiting. I'm like waiting for someone to break in and just steal all my shit. That didn't happen.
Nice.
I end up, I know, I got lucky on that.
Yeah.
But I'm like crashing in my buddy on the floor of my buddy's place for a few days, trying to find an apartment. And I find this place where there's 100 red flags going into it because the girl's like, yeah, this other girl's moving out. And when I go to check the place out, this girl's leaving in a huff and just pretty much gave me the whole good luck type situation.
Oh my God.
That, in a nutshell, moving in there in the course of 6 months, like, we had skylights in the apartment, and those were broken. So I woke up once with 6 feet of water pushed through a tarp right above my head. Because the skylight goes in deep, and they had these elevated IKEA-style beds in there because they were tiny bedrooms. So I had that happen. I had a roommate. She wanted to get ferrets and was like, I'm going to take care of them. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds really cool. And then they would piss and shit everywhere and roll it in the balls in the corner.
I think ferret is bad too.
Yeah.
Oh, you think ferret is bad too?
Landlord is bad. Ferret is bad
too.
This was like my first. This was part of like my first 6 months, and then to cap it off, I get into a show. I auditioned for a theater show, and I got cast in it, and I got like the lead in this play, and I'm like, this is awesome. Finally, something good is gonna happen. I came out to do stuff.
Oh no!
I know, right?
Show is bad.
Show is bad. Don't do show. Show is bad.
So I end up doing this show, and I didn't know a ton of people, so I invited who I could out there. But we're doing this. If you know anything about Chicago, we were in the Pilsen neighborhood in 2007. So it was an up and coming artist neighborhood, but it's outside of the main city. So you have to take the L down. I think it's the I don't know if it's Pink Line or Blue Line. I think it's Pink Line. But no one would go down there really in 2007 unless you were going to college right in that area.
Wait, there's different lines of the L?
Yeah. There's red line, green line, brown line, pink line, purple line, orange line.
Did you think L was the line?
It's just an L.
I thought the L was like, the main one that went through like downtown.
Well, that's in the loop. So there's the elevated train system, which it is that, but then the blue line when it goes into out further west, there's a bunch of elevated stations. See, I live there and I'm forgetting wait a minute.
It's called the L.
Yeah.
It's elevated.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I know, right?
Holy shit!
But
And
the whole
also,
metro system is called the L?
And people, they just call it the L, yeah.
Because it's elevated.
I don't know. I was just...
Oh my
And
I
it
know
goes
New York
underground,
City
too,
way more than I know Chicago.
Yeah.
I don't know New York City at all either, but
So anyway, back to play.
when I hear the L, I think of a line.
Back to show. Show is bad.
Yeah.
Back to show.
Show bad.
Show bad or is show good?
So I was in a show, I think it was called Refuge, and it's, you know, it was a good show. There was but it's pretty intense. Like, it starts off, we're doing simulated sex in the first scene, pretty much, right? So that's how the show starts. I mean, it's not like porn or anything, but it's definitely more intimate than like a normal show that you're normally getting into, right? So
yeah,
we're doing the show, and the theater's super cool because it was like a 3-flat that these guys had bought the building. It was called the EP Theater, and they had actually turned this apartment building into a theater. So the center staircase that went down, they cut holes in the floor that would lead down to where a couple of them lived, but they also had like where they had prop storage and everything. One guy lived up in the booth, and they also had all their seating, stadium seating style, but he had like a little mini apartment there. Everything was really awesome. I'm like, wow, this is going to be...
It sounds really
everything
cool.
Seems cool.
Yeah.
So then we practice we're like, this is going to be great. We're going to have a ton of people come out to the show, and it's going to be sold out every single night. We had like 8 performances. I think our biggest show had maybe like 15 people in the audience.
Yikes.
Here's the kicker, though. Most of the time, we're performing for one.
Oh, no.
And that's one of the performers' girlfriends who just showed up to every single show.
Show is bad.
Girlfriend is
No, it was the
good.
same person every time?
It was the same person every single time.
Oh my god.
Because she was being super supportive. And we're like, oh,
It's
well,
bad.
I guess, you know, people will come out at the end. And I had some friends who showed up to it, and they're like, yeah, that was really good. Are you in previews? And I'm like, no, this is it. This is it. Whoa. And they're like, oh, well, you were good, man. This is a nice theater. I'm like, it is.
They're like, that simulated sex, man. That was a good scene. I like that one.
Oh my god. So you are intensely simulating sex for an audience of one.
For an audience of one.
That's called a peep
And
show.
not only one person, but the same person every show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awful. Because sometimes you know, everyone's been on stage in front of like a handful of people, and you're like, oh, okay, there's like 5 people here, and 2 of them are like my friends who are drunk and stayed from the show they were in last.
Yeah.
I should probably also
like,
say the person who was there, the girl who was watching from the audience, her girlfriend was my co-star who I had to have the simulated sex.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no! How did you not say that earlier?
Oh yeah, I mean, I was like, do I say this or do I just like?
And that's
amazing.
that's how Rob got into cuckolding.
Wait, no, he wouldn't be the cuckold.
I would
I
be
guess
the.
he'd be the
The
cucky?
The cuck-
No.
Cucker.
The cucker.
cuckolder, I think.
One of the
Someone's
the
a
people
cuck.
involved.
We're not sure who.
Yeah.
The girl who was watching it is the cuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too many cucks in the kitchen. Am I right?
Too many cocks in this goddamn kitchen.
Yeah, it was that was basically the kicker of, oh, well, these first 6 months have sucked of like living out in Chicago was
Chicago
just one
is
thing after
bad.
another. No, it got better. It got better
Chicago
over
is
time.
bad.
It took about a year, I think, for things to kind of to even out. But those first 6 months, it was like a lot of hopes that I had, going out there, and then immediately dashed.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Around what time of year did you move?
I moved. Let's see. I went out there around March, and then I think beginning of April is by the time I got out there.
Okay.
All right.
So
you're coming up on the anniversary.
If anyone ever moves out there in like December.
Yeah, that'd be insane.
Yeah, my buddy moved out there. My buddy moved out there, the one who I visited, Mike moved out there in January during the middle of like an ice storm.
That's...
I just thought, why are you doing it? Oh, that's when I could get a place, and it was easier and cheapest rent. And I'm like, yeah, it is probably, because no one wants to move in January. And he was like, yep.
Yeah, I went up there in December just to visit and see some shows, and it was fucking cold, man. It was like too cold.
Yeah, fucking cold.
Did you take the L?
Yeah, I fucking rode all over that L.
Yeah.
I went up to the Riviera to see Wilco perform.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
They performed there five nights in a row.
See how you
They do that every December.
That's so cool for them. I can't wait. Let's go next year. Once we get our vaccines, I'm going.
Dude,
next time I'm going to Chicago, I'm going this summer.
Yeah, we're all going because we're gonna be performing with the Flower Shop Bangers.
Hell yeah, we are.
We got an N, baby. If you're listening, Dan and
Stuart,
we're coming for you.
Hey, what's up, my bangies? We're coming for you.
Hey, bangies.
Hey, bangies. All right.
Tag us little worms along.
Speaking of banging, I feel that it's time for our second ad. Hey, everybody, it's me, Molly. And if you are listening to the How Embarrassing podcast, that means that you are a big fan of, say it with me, Low Blow Candle Co. That's right, baby.
I thought we were going to say your vagina.
The Goose Clamp.
The Goose Clamp!
No, we're talking about Low Blow Candle Co. because so this episode comes out, let me do some math, blah, blah, blah. So on Friday, I launched my Kickstarter campaign for Low Blow Candle Co. I'm trying to get some money raised so I can put it right back into the biz and invest in getting some better equipment. I want to get my business license. Don't tell anyone I'm operating without a license. And
I'm going to take this time to go get myself another drink. If you can edit out me saying that, Matt, please. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm on it.
And so if you go to Kickstarter, search Low Blow Candle Co., you can join. I have all different types of like rewards levels and stuff. I came up with some really cool stuff. And yeah, there's just a lot of stuff I want to work on, and I went into way more detail on the Kickstarter page. So if you actually give a shit about it, go to the Kickstarter page, check it out. You can donate as little as $10 and as much as $1 million bajillion dollars. All right, so thank you very much. Matt, play the music.
I feel like I should be getting a cut for your candle company since you're using our platform to advertise.
Well, honestly, joke's on you. There's no money.
Okay, well, that's cheating because in the beginning you did say that there were 2 Goose Clamp commercials. So where is it?
I was very upset. That's why I gave up and walked away.
A Goose Clamp is actually another word for candle.
Molly, if your next candle isn't called Goose Clamp, this podcast is over.
Okay, well, I actually
Matt Cole and I are leaving you if you don't make your next candle called Goose Clamp.
So I made a candle tonight, and I was going to surprise you, but I feel like I want to make you feel guilty right now.
Shit.
I made my 2 boys, my Matt and my Jeff, How Embarrassing candles.
Whoa!
Yeah, they're really
awesome.
Cool. So
thank you.
Okay,
but can we get
once
a
we all get
one?
Thank you.
Once we all get vaxxed up, yeah, it's How Embarrassing. Smells like Molly, Jeff, and producer Matt Cole.
Oh, that smells good.
You gonna sell those bad boys on our merch?
I think maybe we'll put them on the Patreon or something.
Facebook or whatever.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I don't know how to do that shit.
It's time for games and segments.
Segments and games?
Sensual love.
Fuck.
Mary.
Kill.
Ray.
Neglect.
Neglect.
All right, so it's time for everybody's favorite part of the podcast. It's where we play a game that we have never played before and we will never play again. It is called Fuck, Marry, Kill, Raise, and Neglect. All right, so Rob, you're going to be our lovely, lovely, beautiful, beautiful contestant today.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
And so the game is we are going to give you 5 options. You must fuck one.
Okay.
You must marry one. You cannot fuck the one you marry.
Well,
You ever been married
obviously.
before?
No, never plan on it. That's nope.
You seem like a lifelong bachelor to me, actually.
Yeah.
It's the voice. Anyway, you must kill one. You cannot fuck the one you kill before, after, or during the murder. You must raise one. And Rob, look at me. You cannot fuck the one you raise. Don't do it.
No.
Don't do it.
Watch the documentary on Woody Allen
Yeah.
if you want to know more about that and why it's
And
wrong.
then you're going to neglect one, the Austin Gamlin rule.
Yes.
And you can fuck the one you neglect. We don't give a shit.
We don't care what you do.
I mean, here's the thing: if I'm gonna neglect them, I don't want to fuck them.
Okay.
Okay, well, it's up to you. That's your
It's up to
prerogative.
you. I'm saying.
Yeah.
Just don't
You
take them out
can't-
for ice
You
cream.
can
Kill
because
them.
we don't care. So
Yeah.
anyway, fuck, marry, kill, raise, neglect.
Okay.
Your options are me,
Me.
Me.
yourself, and eggs.
Eggs.
Go.
Wait. Me, myself, and eggs. That's what I have.
It's me,
Me.
Me.
you,
Oh, okay.
Eggs.
Oh, okay. Oh man, Jesus.
You're lucky you're early on the show because we're going to keep adding stuff in. Fuck you all. We're going to have 10 things at some
2
point.
years from now, it's like time
We're
for
gonna
our
have to,
favorite game. Fuck,
write a
marry, kill,
textbook.
raise, neglect, raise again, raise. From
You know
the
what?
Dead.
I'm gonna kill eggs
Whoa!
Wow.
just
Why?
because. What? Sometimes eggs they can go bad, and when eggs go bad, you have to kill them.
Well, no, me and Jeff both are under the belief that eggs is bad. So
Yeah.
Eggs are bad.
yeah.
Eggs is
So
bad.
I would. Kill
And sometimes you can eat eggs, and that's killing the eggs too. So it's
yeah,
killing.
when you
It
cook
works.
them, they're dead.
Yeah. As far as
Let's
we
see.
You got fuck, marry, raise, neglect left.
I would marry Molly. I would raise Matt Cole. I would neglect Jeff, and I would fuck myself.
Whoa!
Jesus,
You
all right,
just
let's slow
rapid
down.
fired. Let's go back. Why do you want to marry me?
You make candles, and I've smelt them. Andy, my roommate Andy, Andy Poindexter.
Yeah.
You live with Andy Poindexter?
I do live with Andy
What is
Poindexter.
happening in the world
Uh,
today?
it's a
Really?
yeah, he's my roommate.
Wow.
It's a weird world, right?
I know
um,
where you live.
I know, because there was a candle delivery today,
Ooh.
and
Ooh.
he always is lighting candles, and I'm like, oh, those smell nice. Molly makes those.
Yeah.
That seems like it's very lovely. So,
Does he ever do
like-
anything? Does he ever do anything weird with the candles?
Or eggs.
No, nothing weird.
Yeah. How about eggs? Does he do anything?
Yeah, what
weird
about
with
eggs,
Actually, I've never seen him eat eggs.
That's weird.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We'll have him
Alright.
on and ask him about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we gotta get. We've never had him on the pod.
Yeah,
We
I just
haven't.
checked. It's true.
Wow.
All right, I could ruin his life anyway.
Okay, so why are you marrying Matt Cole?
I'm not marrying Matt Cole. I was marrying Molly.
Why
yeah.
are you fucking Matt Cole?
Wait, no.
Wait,
no.
no.
I'm raising
He
Matt
can't
Cole.
fuck me. He can't fuck me. The only thing he can't do.
So I figure with raising Matt Cole, it seems like now that he's doing so much producing, I would be like raising a child who would succeed anything that I could ever do. So therefore I could ride his coattails and basically just reap the benefits of being like, hey, I raised you for all of this time and put in all of this effort.
That's smart. That is smart.
That is
Jeff,
smart.
I would neglect you just because
I mean, who wouldn't?
it's basically I don't want to kill you, and I don't want to fuck you.
I appreciate that.
So you're kind of just left to the left, and like you're out of harm's way.
Yeah, you're out of harm's way.
I guess. If I'm
least
being
you're not
neglected now at my state, then I guess you're already neglecting me because you're not like taking care of me in any way. So
poor Jeff. We only
what does neglect mean?
What?
I always assume that it's child me being neglected.
Well, we should.
Well, children can be neglected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know that. Wow, Molly, you're really astute tonight.
Neglect is bad. We've only had neglect as an option for 5 episodes, and poor Jeff has 3 out of 5, and I have yet to be neglected. So.
Wow.
I just think that
we
it
could
means
never
I'm the most
neglect
independent.
you,
I don't
Maddie.
need people.
That's
I'm
true.
independent.
That's true.
Keep telling
Unless it
yourself
means like
that.
5-year-old me, then fuck you. You're trying to neglect me? Bathe me, feed me.
See, this is exactly why I would just
Yeah,
be like,
this is why you get neglected.
You
Ugh.
fucking
but
needy.
I feel like I neglect. If we don't see people, especially in the time of COVID and stuff, and being busy a lot, it's like I feel like I neglect a lot of people. So it'd just be a simple thing for me to do.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I feel that.
And you're gonna jerk yourself off. All right.
Well,
that was
no, I
fuck,
mean,
Mary,
enough-
kill, raise.
Enough people have told me to go fuck myself that I figure I might as well do it.
Yeah.
So
Wouldn't it be cool if you could clone yourself and then?
that's what I mean. I'm
Yeah.
pulling a
Okay.
multiplicity. I'm pulling a Michael Keaton in multiplicity,
Yeah.
All right.
making copies of myself and just going to town.
All right. I mean, why not? It's especially in COVID times. That seems like your safest option.
Yeah.
Do you think it
Yeah.
would be like with like twins where you can feel both parts?
What?
Well, hey, you know what? We'll find out.
Like if you were fucking yourself, would you feel
Oh my god! Like in
yourself
ET
fucking
when
yourself at the
when
same time
ET
as
falls
your
down and
dick
the little
is
boy
fucking-
falls down.
Wow.
Yeah, or when like a twin is a million miles away, but she's like,
Oh, like that Lindsay
Yeah.
Lohan movie where her arms start falling off and she's the stripper.
How do the umbilical
What?
cords work with
What?
twins?
Oh my gosh.
did we ever find this out?
Wait a minute.
I think
Is it
it's
daisy
two
chain?
It's one sack, 2 chords.
What sack? What do you mean sack?
Like a
The
dick sack?
the
A nut sack?
Did
The
you say a dick
placenta.
sack?
Yeah, yeah.
placenta.
With the
placenta.
fluid. Yeah.
Jeff, you're
It's
getting
a big-
neglected, you dick sack.
All right, that was fuck, Mary, kill, raise. Neglect.
What's a dick sack?
Famakara. Neglect. Famakara. Neglect. Famakara. Neglect.
Oh my gosh, my face hurts from laughing.
Oh,
That's
sames.
good.
Oh,
That-
we are
Laugh is
we're
good.
about the end of the episode.
It's about that time, wormies. So
So now we ask you what your view of the Queen is.
it's that famous question we're always asking.
What's my opinion of the Queen of England?
Yeah.
In 3
Yeah.
words or less. 3 words or less only.
Yeah.
I'd hit that.
Nice. Okay, cool.
Nice.
You also
Very
said
good.
like
Clap,
Bill
clap,
Clinton,
clap.
so I like that. I
Yeah.
hate that.
All right,
Rob,
but we are wrapping up. Thank you so much for coming on. the
Yeah, thank you for
episode.
having me on.
Yeah, we're dying to know though. Did we ruin your life today?
No, not even close.
Yeah, I feel like we
Oh.
didn't.
We're getting bad at that.
We haven't ruined a life in a long time, and I'm ready.
Yeah, I think we need to try harder.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hey.
the next
Yeah.
guest, we will destroy.
Oh, shit.
You don't even want to be on
Eddie
this pod.
Poindexter, we're going to trash you.
Yeah, we're coming for your roommate.
Is there anything you'd like to plug or talk about of what you're doing? Where can we find this child show? Children's show?
Jesus.
We haven't talked about that at all, Jeff.
We haven't talked about that at all. No,
We haven't?
Yeah,
No.
we had a conversation before the
Oh, wow.
Also, child show versus children's show is such.
Yeah, that sounds. No, I'm doing a show that's part of a non-for-profit that's going to be over at Virginia Beach Public Schools. So I don't really know how to access that, but I run a horror podcast sometimes. I'm kind of on break right now again because of editing 60 hours a week right now.
Wow.
Yeah. Ouch.
But normally I do that. It's called Oh the Horror. I talk about horror movies. You can check that out at ohthehorror.podbean.com.
Nice.
It's actually under holmesinvasion.podbean.com. Yep. Obviously, I've been there recently.
I recently bought it was $8 on Amazon, and it's all 5 Final Destinations on DVD. And I was like, I've only seen the first 4.
You paid about $7 too much for that, Jeff.
No way.
The fifth one is good. The fifth one's
I've
good.
never seen any of them.
Is the 5th one the 3D one?
Yes,
I don't
but
think I've seen
no.
that one.
Well, the 5th one and the 4th one I think are, but the 4th one sucks. That's the race car one.
Yeah. Well, quick plug. I host a podcast with my friend Jeff called How Embarrassing with Molly and Jeff. You can hear it wherever podcasts are heard.
Ooh, can I plug something too?
Yeah. Can you, Jeff? Do you have anything to plug?
I guess there's not much going on except for this podcast I'm doing called How Embarrassing.
Oh
with
my
Molly
God.
and Jeff.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you can find it. It's pretty hard to find.
It's probably on YouTube.
Yeah, it's probably on YouTube or some other service.
Matt, do you have
Twitcher.
anything to plug?
Yeah, check out Sexperts Podcast.
Fuck
Sexpertspodcast.com.
No!
Check out Will It Binge Podcast, Amber Nettles.
On opposite day.
If you like talking about TV, Will It Binge Podcast.
Hey, Matt.
What else?
Get
we
us
got?
on that podcast.
Yeah.
we want to be on
binge
that.
stuff.
What do you want to talk about? What TV show?
We're bingers, baby.
Binge
American
Rob
Horror Story. Or
Binge Rob
Community.
Holmes's child show.
Yeah.
Dude, I can watch Kid Nation.
Oh,
Even though
yeah.
it's only one season, I can binge it over and over again for the rest of my life.
Kid Nation, it never gets old. All right.
All right,
well,
Kidney Worms, Worm Kids.
Well, Kitty Worms and the Worm
Nation
Kids.
Worms, Worm Nation. Oh, that's the whole group is the
Worm Nation. All right, Worm Nation. Until next time, keep wiggling.
Thanks so much for listening to How Embarrassing Podcast with Molly and Jeff, a Go On production. If you have an embarrassing story and you'd like to be a guest on How Embarrassing Podcast with Molly and Jeff, send us an email at howembarrassingpodcast@gmail.com.
Show is bad.
Show is bad. Chicago
Landlord is bad.